Well, like I said, my wife pointed out where you need to go at. And you need to go on YouTube and look up the time of what must be done, part 58, because that whole entire lecture is referring to, that the weather is, the signs of the coming of Allah. And so, this government is listening, and they know that what we are saying is the truth, and especially when we prove it by, telling you to go where to go at, so you can find out for yourself. Brothers and sisters, a lot of our brothers and sisters I was just sharing with my brother, Prince Muhammad, don't even know that the Minister Farrakhan is the one who started the Million Man March. You've just heard of it and always knew about it, but you didn't know who started it, because they have kept you from wanting to know who the minister is, because the minister is the one who is finishing up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's work of the coming of bringing revelations into reality and bringing God into reality and Satan into reality of the human being, because you need to be educated on the adversary and God, because for you the absent one is the absent the other, and you cannot absent the one, because the one who made Satan is the one who created all things. And surely, if you cannot believe that he made his own enemy, then your mind is so limited to a lack of vision, you need to recap your whole lifestyle. He has the power to do so. And if you can't believe that, I'm sorry for you. It is the truth. This is why Satan must be exposed, because in exposing Satan, it brings to reality the reality that God exists. Okay? This is what's the hindrance that is causing you to be shy or lacking in your faith. You have been taught to pray wrong. That's why you now, I done praying, but God don't hear my prayer. That's what you've been taught by the slave master, to pray wrong. Well, how am I supposed to pray? You're supposed to pray towards the east, of the Holy Land. It's where we came from. Okay? Exactly. And then, once again, like my wife just said, you're praying to the dead Jesus. He said one will come after him. So he was not the Jesus. And you might be like, oh man, they must be worshiping the devil. Believe what you want. You better go read it over. I'm going to talk about we believe in the devil because you don't want to go read it over and carefully. And we're trying to point out to you how to read it so you can know that he was telling you that he ain't the Christ, ain't wickedness and murdering still going on. Christ means crusher of the wicked. So Satan's still ruling. Then the Jesus of 2,000 years ago wasn't the Christ that you are expecting, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that may seem strange to your ears. I'm sorry if it don't tickle your fancy. That's, irrelevant. It's irrelevant now because now you have people whose eyes are open who are pointing it out to you what to look for. You have to understand that everything Jesus was trying to teach the Jewish whites of that time was in parables, because they were so tyrannical that he couldn't just tell them straight up what he was trying to say. Or they would have lost their mind or got that atypical level of aggression that they show you every day, like these cops shooting people down for no reason. That's an atypical level of aggression. And that's a Cronus complex, which means the thought process to always want to roll. This is what Cronus complex means, okay? This is something that God scientifically, once again, see how science going to play a part of it? scientifically added this in their DNA, which is their nature, which means they can't help themselves but to try to rule. And they'll do anything to keep that rule by using their atypical level of aggression, brothers and sisters. This is the wisdom that you need to be taught about so that you don't feel lost and don't know what's going on. Okay? We intend to help you out in the best manner that is pleasing to Allah. Once again, brothers and sisters, I am out and about in the public, so if you hear things in the background, just know that this is why. But you got to understand that people are going to have to face the fact that it is the time. And you're going to have to do it because we're not going to have a choice in the Lord. He's going to destroy, everything that is in refusal or against what he is trying to bring in, which is his new word. So when you heard him speak that he, so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whomever believe in him shall have everlasting life. He wasn't talking about he so loved this world, okay? He was talking about the envisionment of the world that he intends to bring in of righteousness. Okay, and that son that he was speaking on, that if anybody was to lay on him and follow him, it is the teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, brothers and sisters. So, you have to understand. This is a tough subject. It's tough because you have not heard of him, and this is what'll make it different. Because they never wanted you to. If you go follow up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's life, he has given numerous amounts of money to all type of funding. He has made schools for our people. He has built businesses for our people. He has did everything that adds up in the attributes of what the prophets have predicted of that Messiah. And until you go and follow his life and what the prophet said of this Messiah, then instead of you getting out of the 2,000-year-old Messiah of their time, he wasn't the Messiah of this time. It is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm sorry. You must know this. You need to go to Malachi, the 4th chapter, the 4th verse, where God tell Moses he is going to send one likened to him. Okay? Likened, meaning his characteristics are going to be similar to what he did. He was talking about the minister Farrakhan, because he is the only man that is trying to liberate our black people into the mint, I would say, or the reuniting with God. This is what Moses tried to do with them 4,000 years ago. Okay? The scriptures told you also. I'm going to send one likened to Elijah. Okay? He was talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm sorry if you cannot believe it. It is not your fault that you don't want to believe it. Because they knew if you found out about it, then you would know who they is, and you will fall away from them. As the scripture said in 2 Thessalonians, that day, what day? The judgment shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that promoting the characteristics of a devil, which is an uncivilized person. Okay? He has to be examined, and he has to be revealed. Revealed how? In his characteristics. And once you can reveal him in his characteristics, then you can add him up into being that son of perdition. Brothers and sisters, I'm sorry. The Caucasian one, Illuminati elite, are those men who are the sons of perdition, brothers and sisters. The engineers who intend and think that they're going to bring Satan's kingdom on earth. You will try, but you will not succeed. It is written that you will lose, and Satan is aware of it, and it is even written in the Quran. Well, he is going to deny his own followers when God questions you, what you have done. Look at the coward who wants to be God. Okay? He is a coward. And he even mentioned in the Quran, well, some of you who are ruling this country are going to try to blame each other. Oh, I ain't do it. He the one made me do it. This is why he said that none on that day will be averted. What he meant? He meant it don't matter how much money you have. It don't matter how many businesses you own. It will not help you if you were wicked. It ain't gonna be no you using that fiat money as a pain reliever to get you out of that situation. He ain't taking no refund. So whatever you purchased, your receipt is going to be rejected when you try to return it back. I'm sorry. I hope you understand the parable I just gave to you. Telling you it ain't going to help you no matter what you do, as long as you think it's okay to think that you can be wicked. And you stay like that until he pop up on you. You don't think you're going to pull out $1 billion. You're like, hey, God, I got this for you. You know, that ain't going to work. All right? Oh, well, I got, a whole bunch of acres of land over here. Here you go. You just spare me. It ain't going to work. Okay?
Well, because number one, that the land don't belong to you anyway. If you're looking at it like that, and this, it's like, it just kind of goes like what you were saying, like about these, owning things and all that. Like people worry so much about that. People spend their whole lives, and people actually believe that getting up every day working. I mean, it's okay to work, but people think that they're supposed to spend their whole lives like all day long, 18, 20 hours a day. Okay, what time are you going to have to spend with your family? What time are you going to have to raise your kids and protect your family if you're always away from your family? How can you teach your sons or your daughters anything if you're always away from them?
Right.
So you have to remember, like, being in these places is okay, to obtain something, because now that you have no choice in the matter right now, because this is where they make it for you to, you have to work now because they've created a system of bills. If there was a well for you to go get water from and not use their water, they've taken that and made sure that you have to use their water.
Right.
If you don't have electricity and you say, well, I don't want to have the power, I'll use lamps. They'll come and say, if you got kids, oh, you're neglecting your children.
Uh-huh.
So there's no way around it. So you do have to work and do these things, but don't drive yourself crazy out here trying to have things that eventually gonna fade away anyway. You think you go out and you buy a $200-$300 pair of shoes, eventually those shoes are going, they're going to mess up. You're not going to be able to wear them. Or if you're a person that's into fashion, you're buying all these stylish stuff,